welcome back to the deep dive. Right, grab your notes, maybe sharpen those daggers, metaphorically speaking, because today we're stepping into quite a world. Shadows, secrets, and some very, very high-stakes contracts.
That's right.
We're focusing on the sprawling city of Arcist, really dangerous place, and looking closely at one of its most, well, lethal operatives, the assassin known as Starfaller.
Yeah, and our mission today, it's really to get past just the surface level, the usual setting summary. We want to use this source material almost like a tactical guide.
Okay.
We're going to unpack how control works in Arcist. We'll look at the city's weird arcane underpinnings, analyze the frankly ruthless business model of the Grim Shadows, that's Starfaller's organization, and get into the nitty-gritty of how they execute a contract kill, one designed to send a very clear message.
A chilling message, it sounds like,
Yeah.
to every other power player in this city of gates, as they call it.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start there. Arcist itself. The source is painted as more than just, urban sprawl. It's a critical nexus, an unparalleled trading hub, huge wealth flowing through, attracting everyone, merchants, mercenaries, powerful mages. But all that commerce seems built on something unstable.
Well, that instability is Arcist, in a way. It fuels it. They call it the City of Gates, right? But not because it's welcoming.
Right.
It's because power shifts constantly, violently often. Daytime is trade, sure, but night, that's whispers and, like you said, hidden daggers. And the key detail, the thing underneath it all, is this persistent rumor
Which is?
that Arcist is literally built on a massive nexus point where ley lines converge.
Okay, so that's not just flavor text, is it?
Okay.
What does being a ley line nexus actually do for the city, for the conflict?
It means controlling the ground, the physical space, gives you direct control over arcane power. It's a resource, a huge one. This convergence makes it incredibly potent, magically speaking. So yeah, it draws mages like moths to a flame. But it also might be a doorway, a gate, like the name suggests, to other planes, other realms. And this constant influx of, well, unstable magical energy, it drives the city's success, but also this overwhelming sense of danger. The very air feels charged, amplifies ambition, escalates every little dispute.
And as if greedy people and unstable magic weren't enough, the sources mentioned something else. Something worse beneath the city.
Yeah. That's where it gets really unsettling. These older, hungry powers under the ancient stones,
Hungry.
described as silent slumbering, and the implication is one day they're expected to wake up and just take over. The chilling part, the reason they haven't stirred yet is apparently because death is a stranger to them. They're in no rush. They have all the time in the world.
Okay, that changes things, doesn't it? It's not just guilds fighting over territory. It's like everyone's scrambling frantically on top of this massive, patient, eternal threat.
Precisely. And that's why power in Arcist collects, as the source says, like storm clouds before a tempest. The whole city is defined by this waiting game. You can see it in the skyline, too.
Oh.
It's chaotic, jagged, crumbling ruins from rulers who failed, right next to these towering new spires of whoever's on top now. It's described like a beast that never sleeps, just constantly lurching forward, burdened by its own history and, frankly, its own fear.
So if Arcist is all about this chaotic survival, we need to look at the groups built to master that chaos. Which brings us squarely to the Grim Shadows. The sources don't just call them a guild, they call them a machine of war and control. And their influence goes way beyond Arcist.
Yeah, their reach is vital to understand. They operate in every major city. That tells you they're an interregional power. They can enforce contracts across huge distances.
And Starfaller, where does he fit in this machine?
He's high up. Very high up. The structure is segmented. He's one of 5 fingers of the Red Hand.
Fingers of the Red Hand, okay.
And they answer directly to the main leader, who's known only as the Red Hand.
But then there are the real masters, pulling the strings from even deeper in the shadows. The Red Ghosts. That sounds deliberately confusing. Why all the layers?
It's classic shadow organization structure, isn't it? Segmentation equals security and control. The Red Ghosts. Total anonymity. The Red Hand, that's the public face of consequence, the boss figure. And the fingers, like Starfaller, they're the specialists, the enforcers.
And Starfaller's specialty is pretty grim.
He leads the Black Ravens, the organization's elite assassins. And the text notes they're so lethal, even other Grim Shadows members fear them.
Wow. Okay, so this level of specialization brings us to Starfaller himself. And this is where it gets interesting, because he's not what he appears to be.
No, not at all. Most people see him, they think dark elf, Coal black skin, white hair, those sharp, angular features.
But that's a facade.
It's a lie, yeah. Anyone who looks closely, really looks, sees something unnatural. His eyes are silver, and they glow softly, reflecting this depth, this hunger that's just fundamentally alien.
Alien how?
He's a child of a nightmare race, it says, from the Shadow Realm.
From the Shadow Realm. But his origin within the Grim Shadows is, well, it's dark. They severed his connection to that realm. Why would they do that to such a powerful asset?
Control. It always comes back to control. The Red Ghosts saw his potential, this immense, rare power, but they needed absolute loyalty.
So they cut him off.
By severing his link to his homeland, his psychological anchor, probably a magical one too, they got this incredibly powerful weapon, but one who was totally dependent on them.
Wow.
He's immensely powerful, yeah, but deliberately crippled, forged into a tool for their machine. That dependency guarantees he serves.
Which explains his unique weapons.
Mm.
They're powerful, but they cost him something. He carries physical daggers, Night Fang and Void Fang, but rarely uses them.
Right. His main weapons are formed from his own essence, from Shadow itself.
How does that work?
Shadows just coalesce into whatever melee weapon he needs. Blade, a spear, anything. It's terrifyingly versatile.
But there's a catch.
Always a catch with the Grim Shadows. The sources are clear. Summoning these shadow weapons always drains him a little. It's not just a cool trick. It's a constant reminder of his leash. Every time he uses his power, he pays a price. It limits him, forces him to be efficient, precise, calculated.
And the Grim Shadows provide tools too. But even those have limits, like the Echo Earring.
Yeah, it's their communication tech, links him to his handlers, shows they're advanced but not infallible.
What are the limits?
Only 6 uses before it needs a long recharge. It struggles in storms, which apparently are pretty common in Arcust, and counter magic shuts it down completely. So it's useful for confirming orders, checking in, but it's not foolproof.
Okay.
And then there's his cloak, hooded, naturally, treated with some kind of alchemy weave, repels water, sure, but more importantly, unwanted eyes, protection from weather and surveillance, practical.
Which brings us to the core of the sources, the contract. The hit on Councilor Varric. Why him? The motive is, well, brutal but clear. Varric violated the wrong merchant's daughter. So a powerful merchant hired the Grim Shadows to, quote, erase Varric's name. This isn't just revenge, is it?
No, it reads like corporate risk management, Arcus style, purely economic and political consequence. And Starfaller approaches it clinically, coldly.
His assessment.
12 guards, veterans, not just hired thugs, armed with short bows, reinforced leather, standard warehouse district protection, maybe a bit better. Importantly, no mages detected outside. He treats it like a military op against a fortified spot.
And his entry tactic is smart. Avoids a direct fight. He uses that smoke vial.
Yeah, the hallucinogenic one.
Yeah.
This shows the Grim Shadows' depth, right? It's not just about assassins. They've got top-tier alchemists, too.
What does the vial do?
It's psychological warfare. Turns the guards' numbers, their coordination against them. They start screaming, attacking phantoms, their lines break. Doesn't just disable them, it terrifies anyone who hears it, building the Grim Shadows' mystique. Starfaller just melts into the chaos and slips inside.
Okay, inside the warehouse. This is the crucial moment, the analysis point for the whole operation. Varric sees Starfaller coming out of the shadows, and he panics. Offers the classic bribe.
Triple the contract price to just walk away.
And this is the big test, isn't it? For the Grim Shadows' whole business model. It's not just about this one kill. It's about their reputation.
Absolutely. Their brand value. So what does Starfaller do? Procedure. He uses the Echo Earring, contacts his handler. Codename Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher, where are they?
Operating out of Central, which the locals apparently call the Grave. Sounds like the Grim Shadows command hub within Arcust.
Okay, hold on. Triple the price? That's immediate, massive profit they're just turning down. Why refuse that much cash? Seems like bad business sense on the surface.
Because the reputation of the Grim Shadows is worth infinitely more than any single payout. They sell certainty, finality, not negotiation. Ratcatcher's response is basically their corporate policy. If he wanted to live, he should have hired us first. No counteroffers. Simple as that.
If they take the counteroffer.
Their whole brand collapses. Every future target thinks they can bribe their way out. The fear evaporates. The finality is gone. And suddenly their contracts aren't worth nearly as much. Their ruthlessness is the product.
That's the unbreakable rule in Arcus, then. The second Varric offered that bribe, he was dead twice over.
Pretty much. Starfaller gets the confirmation, denied. And then he moves, fast. Takes out the nervous mage nearby first, then Varric. Uses the shadow daggers.
Efficient. And leaves no trace.
No steel, no evidence, just death. That's the quote. Reinforces their mystique, nothing physical left behind. But, like you said, the job wasn't just the kill, it was the message. And the sources specify a particularly gruesome term in the contract.
Yeah, that detail is chilling. He cut off Varric's genitals, stuffed them in his mouth. That's not overkill. That's a billboard.
It's communication, Arcus style. Enforced public lesson for the whole city. It tells everyone two things. One, the grim shadows deliver exactly what the client paid for, down to the grisly details. Client satisfaction guaranteed.
And two,
it's a warning to every other power broker, every politician. No one's safe. Break the unspoken rules, cross the wrong people who can afford the grim shadows, and this is how you end. Humiliated. Definitively, it's pure dominance assertion.
message delivered, contract fulfilled, Starfaller exits, and he uses the weather.
Arcus' lovely weather. The rain's intensifying. He knows it'll wash away any traces outside. The city itself helps cover the crime.
Like the city itself cleanses the sin.
Exactly. Bodies left out, washed away. That's how Arcus forgets. Lets the cycle continue without getting bogged down in guilt.
So, Starfaller, this weapon, forged from a nightmare race, leading elite assassins, a finger of the red hand. He really embodies the kind of ruthless efficiency you need to thrive, maybe even survive, in Arcus.
Absolutely. And the key takeaway from digging into this operation, it's that Grim Shadow's professionalism is their rigid adherence to the contract. That commitment to finality, no matter the counteroffer, that's their leverage. That's their power in the City of Gates.
But even after this perfectly executed job, even with all his power and the organization's control, the sources end on this uneasy note. As Starfaller leaves, he feels something.
Yeah, that really sticks with you, doesn't it? That lingering sensation. Not that he was watched by guards or rivals, but by something. Older.
Yeah, older powers again.
He feels the deep shadows themselves listening. He notices the protective sigils on the street lanterns flickering, struggling against unseen forces. It pulls the whole thing back from this professional hit back to that huge existential threat under the city.
So is Starfaller, this creature from the Shadow Realm, arguably one of the most effective, dangerous people in Arcus, if he still feels a presence of these ancient, slumbering powers, these things under the ley lines, what does it really say about who or what truly runs this city?
That's the provocative question, isn't it? Is the real danger the people like Starfaller, the ones with the shadow blades enforcing the brutal contracts of the Grim Shadows? Or is it the forces lying silent beneath their feet, just waiting for the day death stops being a stranger to them, perhaps? The machine of control they've built, the Grim Shadows machine, it's incredibly effective, but maybe it's built on foundations that are fundamentally unstable, on quicksand.
Something to definitely think about as you navigate power structures, maybe even in your own world. Until next time, keep digging.